Greetings, sir. How you doing? You good?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine.
You good, yeah?
Yeah.
When the PR was sent to me, they weren't shy in introducing you as the best in the world to do what you do right now. All right? So I really wanted you to explain to our audience who you are and how you find yourself in this position today.
Yeah. Basically, just a creative guy. You know, I mean, I think most people just know me as a producer for now, but like there's more to me than just making music and being a producer. But like I'm fine with just getting all the like recognition as a producer for now. I feel like other things will come along the way. But yeah, music is something that I love. Music is something that I've been doing like, you know, more than half of my life, and literally all my life too, because it's something I was born into. I think I just figured out like, you know, my love for music was so strong that I realized that that was something, you know, I really wanted to do. Like no other thing made sense to me when I started music, and this was when I was like 13, 14, 15. So it was just from there, it was just like, yes, that's the only thing I want to do. And then every other thing I can figure it out. But like, I need to make it out of, you know, this thing through music. I need to make it out through music first. Yeah.
Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Benin City in Nigeria. Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria.
We're going to get into how you were as a young boy, how Benin City shaped you a little bit later. But for me, Calm Down is what everybody knows you for, if they know you at all. I wanted you to kind of speak on some of the most successful endeavors that you've had up to this time. Obviously, I've just mentioned probably the biggest one.
Yes.
But you've done other stuff as well, right?
So, I mean, I feel like I've had my own level of success, you know, from when I started, especially like from 2012. I would say, of course, like the money and other things didn't come, but like I just was growing, and there were like different levels, you know, in my career. And then, you know, at every point I knew that I was on the right path to achieving like, you know, all of this right now. But I would say from 2020, especially during the lockdown, a lot of things changed, you know, so quick for me. And that started from like the project that Omale had put out during the lockdown. So
Big moment for Omale, right?
Yeah, it was a very big moment for everybody.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
So things just kind of like took, you know, a whole new, you know, turn for me at that point. And I think all eyes just, you know, were on me from that moment. And I just knew that I really had to put in, you know, if I was working really hard before, I had to work times 100 at that moment, you know, to really prove. Because at some point there's a little of pressure sometimes, you know. I'm not someone who likes to feel pressure, but like there was a little of that at that time, because that was the first time I really had a song that was going mainstream. And it's like, okay, this is different. You know, now I'm having a lot of people following me on my Instagram and on my Twitter. I'm having people reposting my stuff and, you know, paying more interest to what I do. And so I can't feel them, and I can't feel myself. You know, so I really just had to go in. And, you know, after that I had more songs. You know, I had songs with Crayon. I had songs with like Paul. Feeling, which was also a very big song, you know, one of the biggest songs of 2021. And then, you know, other songs in between before Calm Down, you know, happened. So it was just, every time it was just like, yeah, I was doing this level and to this, and yeah, it's been a beautiful journey for me.
You can imagine, because, you know, I often say this to artists, that the last 5 years, I guess, for you,
yes,
and the 5 years prior to that, totally different, right?
Yes.
Total contrast.
Very, very different. Big contrast.
Yeah. Listen, producers produce, right? So what other genres of music do you get into, would you like to get into?
I think right now I'm looking at K-pop.
Wow, you're the second person to tell me that, actually.
Yeah, K-pop is like, I've been listening to a few, and yeah, I think it's something that I would really love to get into. As a music head, like, you know, we just don't like feeling restricted. Like, you just want to try different things. I could still bring that blend of K-pop and Afrobeats. It's very possible. Do you understand? So, yeah, that's K-pop, and then the Latino scene is something that's
interests you.
Yeah, that interests me too. Yeah.
Speak on the state of music, just from your perspective, right? I always like to get everyone's opinions. The state of the music industry. Where are we at? We in a good place? Bad place? What's 2024 like for you?
2024 is 2024 is good. The first part of 2024, I wasn't sure what was happening, but like from I'll say from August, yeah, it started to. A lot of the things that I was working on like earlier on in the year and from last year started to like take shape, and you know, I started to see like a clearer vision of what I wanted to achieve. So for me, I feel like 2024 is this time is for me to like do a lot of, you know, just groundwork, just do a lot of like, you know, the background,
yeah,
you know,
the stuff behind the scenes, the stuff people don't see.
Yeah, the things people really won't get to see, but it's just in preparation for 2025. The 2025 is going to be crazy and amazing. It's like, for me, it's like I have a lot of projects, I have people, I have artists that, you know, I also want to introduce, you know, to the world, and yeah, I'm just really excited about that. I feel like, you know, generally music in the world too is like in a very, you know, make or break point. I feel like people are at the point where they're experimenting, they're trying out new stuff, and I feel like in no distant time, maybe a year or two, you know, there'll be like a whole new sound, a whole new thing that's, you know, people are trying to like, you know, catch on to, like the way Amapiano came. I feel like, yeah, we're getting to that point.
Evolving fast, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's the nature of the beast. I was recently talking to a dancehall artist who believes there should be greater synergy between Afrobeats, dancehall, to truly maximize the potential of both genres. I mean, in terms of embracing other genres of music, what are your thoughts on that?
We've always been embracing other like genres right from time. Like if you actually listen to Afrobeats, if you take out like drums and percussions and you just take that out, I'm sure you hear like elements of like stuff from like different genres, be it dancehall, R&B, soul, jazz, or whatever. So Afrobeats is, I feel like Afrobeats is that genre that is able to, you know, just take from different things. So that's really not a problem, you know, just working with like people from other, you know, that do other genres, right, is really not a problem. For me, I just feel like the music has to be really good, and there has to be like synergies, like you have to be in sync for it to actually work. Do you understand? It shouldn't be something that's forced. As long as, you know, the artists are, you know, there's good energy between the two of them, then yeah, I'm good with that.
Sticking with dancehall then, which artists would you like to work with that you haven't already?
To be honest, I'll go to like the really old guys that have been there before. Sean Paul is somebody that I just really love. Like he's one of those guys that I listened to when I was I was a teenager, and you know, I really fell in love with his sound. So him and I used to like Elephant Man. I don't know what he does these days, but like
he was at the Caribbean musical. Was actually, check that out online.
Most especially Sean Paul. Sean Paul is,
I mean, he's dancehall personified, right? So that makes sense. Yeah, no, I get it. Outside of dancehall, then, my friend, where else would you like to? You mentioned K-pop.
Yeah.
But where else would you like to spread your musical wings?
I mean, all over the world. I'm good with everything. Like, you know, it's just if it comes, you know, and it feels right, I'll do it. I just want to create. I just want to express myself in however I can, you know, just let it out. Like whatever I'm feeling, whatever is in my head, I just want to let it out. So if it's rock or if it's country music, I'm down for it. Like as long as we can find a way to like make it work, I'm good with that.
was you like as a young man growing up in Benin City? Good boy, bad boy?
I was a good boy.
You was a good boy?
I was a good boy.
Parents wouldn't have it any other way, would they?
Yeah, I was a calm child.
Right.
Calm child. I was very reserved, and but I was also very like daring. Like I used to try things. I used to do things that a normal kid would not want to do, would not dare to do.
Like what? Share some of them things.
So I don't know how to like, you know, when you just ride your bicycle and go to like, it's like almost a different town, like almost a different city. I did that like when I was like 8, 9 years old.
Ridiculous distances, yeah?
Like so crazy. Like,
Tour the Benin City, yeah?
it was crazy. Like, and there was this time I rode my bicycle. Like it's like a village just close to like the city, but it's like close to where I live, and I was riding, and you know when you're riding, it's like you're going down because it's like hilly. So when I was going, you know, towards the village, it's like you're going down, so you're really going fast. I didn't realize that coming back was going to be very difficult because like I had to ride up and then I had to come down and start pushing my bicycle, and I got back home very late at night. But somehow I was able to sneak into the house without anybody knowing. So I didn't really have my parents restrict me or tell me not to do anything because from the outlook, you know, outside, like you just see me as someone who's
quite calm, level-headed.
Very calm, very level-headed. You know, it's not going to cause any trouble. So they kind of like just always trusted me. Yeah. So, but I used to do a lot of things.
Share some of the pivotal moments then that shaped you as a young man.
I think growing up with someone like my dad did do a lot because I watched him perform on stage. I watched him rehearse. I watched him record in the studio. I watched how he handled his business and how he carried himself. And then also I think, you know, my education, you know, school, you know, when I was in like secondary school, high school, that also like was a moment for me. Like it shaped, you know, the way I think now and the way I also do things, and how I relate to people also. And then university days too, that also did, you know, just, you know. So
What'd you do at uni?
Fine and applied arts, so I majored in sculpture. So yeah.
So you're a real creative.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I also used to perform in like school, so I already had like a little taste of, you know, what it felt to be
The man at the moment.
popular. Do you understand? Yeah. So I felt that, and I think from then I learned how to handle that too at that time, and then I also understood how crazy things could get if you don't handle certain things, you know. And then I think, you know, the years, I think from like 2013, 2014, you know, I started to try out stuff. I started to like work with other artists, you know, that I discovered and, you know, try to push them. And I saw how that also helped me as a creative, as an artist, as a producer, and someone who generally people should respect, you know, just respect, you know, what I bring to the table, respect my craft and the value I bring. So I understood that people respect value, you know, the value that you bring, you know, and that's very important.
Yeah, it is. What came first? Producer dreams or artist dreams?
Artist.
Yeah,
Artist dreams.
that's normally how it goes, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I
when did
kind of like even go into production because I just wanted to be making my own beats.
Right.
Yeah, and it was cheaper for me at that time to do that because I mean, you know, back then when I started, it's not like now where anybody can
reach out to anybody.
Yeah,
right?
you can literally just pick up a laptop or YouTube, learn what you want to learn. Back then, you had to go to like a studio, a proper studio. You had to book sessions, you know, and you work with times like 4 hours for a half session, you know, 8 hours full session. So it was very difficult for me to afford that. And you know, when you go there, you have to be very prepared. Like you make sure that you have your songs written down, the melodies and everything. But these days people don't even do that. Like you can literally just come, ask for a beat or find a beat online and then you just vibe and, you know, take your time. So I felt like it was cheaper, and then that way I'm in control of the kind of sound that I wanted to create. So that's how I got into production in the first place.
Is it just music for you?
No.
You touched on fine art, so talk about, as much as you want to expose at this point in the journey, some of the other targets you got your eye on.
It's not just music for me right now. I'm kind of like into a lot of things. I mean, while all the years where I've been doing music, I've also been, just mapping out like, things that I want to do in the future. And fashion is part of it. It's something that I'm hoping to just really, get started next year. Also, I'm into like, I own a restaurant. I run a restaurant and a lounge in Lagos right now.
What's it called? Shout it out.
Sonic Room Lagos. And then I am also into real estate. I've been, acquiring properties and, doing like shotlets, rents and Airbnbs, stuff like that. And then I'm recently also just getting into farming, pig farming. Just acquired like 4 acres, land in Ogun State in Nigeria. So it's like there's just a lot of things that I'm trying to do at this point, and yeah, I'm a very busy man.
It's important to diversify, so I love that. Love to hear.
Yeah.
Talk about Africa for a minute. For me, it's seemingly getting to that point where the continent is being shown the respect that it deserves. I wondered what your thoughts were on that, and if you do see the positives, what you think they are.
I just think that Africa has like very raw talents, that and I think that I honestly just think I don't like politics or anything, but I honestly just think that our governments, the government in Africa, especially in my country, Nigeria, they need to do better. They really need to do better. They just need to, I know if you just provide the basics. We are not a people that, really want too much. Like if you just give us like the things we need, just the basic things, we know how to like figure stuff out by ourselves. Against all odds, against all like everything that's happening in Africa, like you still see people, excel and do big things, especially in the entertainment industry. So that's to show you that there's a lot of talent, coming from Africa. I'm sure there are a lot of like Africans out here doing big things too, and so
that's why I asked, because they are, and they're a lot prouder and louder than they ever were.
Yeah.
I'm 47.
Yeah.
You can speak to Africans here, they'll corroborate, but there was a time where they weren't as proud of being Nigerian, proud of being Ghanaian or Senegalese or wherever they're from, South Africa. And I just see the upliftment. So I wonder what it's like for an actual African to see that development taking place, and just what you think about it.
It's a great feeling. Like it is that sense of pride. Like every time like you see an African doing big things, big exploits in other parts of the world, because it rubs off on us, positively. Sometimes like we've had moments where we were like in a negative light, but like whenever we see like people just achieving like big things, it's also a moment for us like, okay, yeah, this is a positive moment for us, and we want to hold on to that, right? So it feels good.
It feels like the narrative's changing somewhat, right?
It has changed a lot. I hear people who even live like here, who grew up here, talk about how it wasn't cool to be African before, but now like everybody wants to be African, everybody wants to be Nigerian, everybody wants to like associate with Africans, and that's a good thing. It took a lot of effort from like different people, different people in different eras, and I also feel like this is also my time to also contribute my own part to taking the African culture, African energy to the next level.
Talking about taking it to the next level, I don't think I witnessed a track go as viral as Calm Down in the speed that it went viral. Obviously, there were circumstances that enabled that. People were at home, and there were certain tricks that were used online to push the track, and I thought that was brilliant as well. The marketing was fantastic. So speak about that period for you, because I guess, how did you get to associate with Rema? What was that? Did you know him before? Talk about that, and the impact that it had. I don't think anything can prepare you for that. So speak about how you were dealing with that moment.
So I'm a strong believer of like having the right relationships with people before you actually like, get to work or get to do something. And my relationship with Rema started like about 10 years ago. He was still a teenager, like 13, 14 years. And we worked, I actually was like one of the first people he worked with, when he started out as an artist. Then I didn't see him for so many years again until 2020. And by this time, I happened to join Maven. And obviously he was with Maven already. So
big up Maven as well.
Yeah, so we just, reconnected again. And, it took a couple of months because, he's a really busy guy and he was traveling. But also the lockdown kind of like helped because he was around that period in Lagos. And, he was down to like get into the studio with me again. And I remember we had like straight on like 3 weeks of work back to back every day, just recording, making music. I think that's where that energy just came from. So, the success of Calm Down or any other song that we've had is as a result of all of that, because we had a moment, together where we could just create, very genuine, honest music, the way we felt it, and without any pressure or any like interference from anybody. So yeah,
organic,
very organic, very organic. And so I'm not gonna say that I wasn't surprised at the success of Calm Down, because it wasn't something I was expecting. I wasn't like thinking, oh, I'm getting a billion streams or whatever. But when it started to happen, when I started to see the rate at which the song was going, I wasn't surprised too, because I felt like, I've tried, I've worked so hard, like I think I deserve this at this moment, this is my time.
Word on the Maven movement, because that's a solid group with a firm vision, execution's professional. I don't even think sky's the limit for them. I don't even know where they're going, so speak on that.
Maven is such a strong organization, and label, and it's not just like, work, it's family too. It's like, when you,
I get that impression.
Yeah, when you're part of it, when you're Maven, it's like you feel like you have a family, it's easy to walk up to like, anybody there and just, talk about like the things that you want to do, and that you can, be rest assured that, they're going to try to make something work, make something happen. It's also a place, for me, it's also an inspiring place, because I learned a lot. I learned a lot from, Don Jazzy. I learned a lot from Tega by just watching them and seeing like the big moves they make. And even when I joined, I just knew that I instantly just felt it that, my life had changed even before we started putting out music, because I just saw how structured, like there's so much structure, and it's like they're very intentional about like the things they want to get. I know, like, sometimes there are challenges, things are not easy, but like you can see that, the structure really helps, and it's something that they've been building for 10 years now.
No, it's not over.
Yeah, it's not overnight.
It's not overnight.
So they're literally like, the forefront, the pioneers of like, this modern day Afrobeats scene. And
they got their hands in all the right pies at the moment, man.
They're getting the right deals, the right, partnerships and all of that.
I think people can see they've put in the work, and they execute, which is important. How long are you here in the UK for? And what's the objective? We doing it?
Actually, I leave tomorrow.
Oh, you going tomorrow?
Yeah,
well, I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad you came by the office. So what was the objective coming here? Just to network, do interviews?
It was that,
build the
network,
brand.
but at the same time, I also came for my younger sister's graduation, but she's in Manchester, so I did that like 2 days ago.
Nice.
Before I came to London yesterday.
Bit of business and pleasure.
Yeah.
If the next 12 months went perfectly,
yes,
how would they go? If you execute every box, ticks every box, everything you wanted.
Put out. So I have 2 artists right now. So within the first 6 months of 2025. You know, want to put them out there and hope that yes, the projects are going to be really successful and put us on the map, properly. And also I'll be able to launch my record, my clothing brand, and then also introduce my record label to the public, and just be able to explore the world, my artists, and have our music spread just all over the world.
Where can people find out more about you? So look down the lens, let them know.
Yeah, you can catch me on Instagram at Andre Vibez. That's AndreVibez at Andre Vibez, and same thing on Twitter and on TikTok.
Anything else you want to share with us before we part ways?
Yeah, I'll see you guys another time.
Wind up. Big respect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate the time, man. Love.